Hey, what's going on? Listen, I want to take this time to welcome each and every one of you to the Leadership Class Coaching Session. My name is Barry E. Knight. I'm the founder and CEO of BEK Impact Company. We are a leadership consulting firm, and it is our passion. It is our drive to build leaders for greater impact and change. And so these videos are to help you become the world-class leader that people love to follow and work with so that you can increase your outcomes and drive greater impact and change in your organization, your industry, and even in the world. Before I go on, please do me a favor and subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get more leadership coaching and teaching videos as such. So let's get right into our topic. I'm very casual with my teaching and coaching, but please do me a favor and grab a pen, paper, take copious notes, or as I often say, get your smartphone, your dumb phone, or whatever it is that you have, a tablet, and make sure you're, again, taking copious notes. I want to talk to you about stretch goals that stretch people. If you're a leader, you're leading people, you have influence over a group of people. If you're a business leader, a church leader, a faith leader, you're leading in government, you're leading in the nonprofit sector, education sector, doesn't matter. People look to you so that you can take them to a future that they didn't believe was possible, or maybe they didn't even know existed. That's why people are following you. So stretch goals, let me give you a definition. I'm reading some notes right here, and it says here that a stretch goal is a deliberately or ambitious aim or objective. I love the word deliberately. It is deliberately. And as leaders, you must have a deliberate, meaning I've thought it out, I've done the research, and this is where we want to go. And as leaders, here's the thing. You have to be deliberate and intentional to throw your entire self at the vision. Now, if you want to become that world-class leader that people love to follow and work with, they want to follow a leader who is wholly committed, W-H-O-L-L-Y, wholly committed to this vision, this stretch goal. And so it must be challenging. It must be deliberate. It must be ambitious, or as we say at BEK Impact Company in the leadership class online training, we say it must be revolutionary. But how do you do this? Now, here's where I want to get into the teaching. How do you lead your team towards a huge, as we call, big, hairy, audacious goal, a stretch goal? How do you do it without losing your people? How do you do it without breaking people and losing people along the way? Now, there's no guarantee that what I'm sharing with you is going to absolutely keep everyone, but it is going to increase your effectiveness as you're leading your team toward that big, hairy, audacious goal, that stretch goal. And I keep doing that stretch because I hope you feel... I hope you're feeling what I'm saying that stretch goal, something that is revolutionary. How do you do it? I remember a few years ago, my wife and I have three amazing, wonderful children, and we have a daughter. She's 8. But I remember this moment, and I was rushing to get to a particular place, walking, maybe in a store or something, and I was rushing to get there. Maybe they were closing, and I had her hand, and I was moving. Now, you have to understand, I'm 6'1". My daughter was 4 years old. However tall she was at that time, I don't remember, but much shorter than what I was, and obviously am still. But I was walking, and I had her hand, and I was going toward my destination, totally focused. I was deliberate in my motion, in my action. I'm going here. And I did not realize that my one step was probably equal to my daughter's 3 steps. So in other words, my one step, it took her 3 steps just to make one of my steps. And add on the fact that I was rushing. So I want to connect this analogy right now, Mr. and Mrs. Leader. If you're leading people, you're leading a team, you're leading an organization, oftentimes we can get so focused on this stretch goal. We need to go here, and you're throwing your entire self at it, that we often don't understand the capacity of those that we're leading and serving. And so I kept saying, come on, Sydney, come on, Daddy, catch up. And as long as she was there, then I didn't worry about her capacity because I looked down and hey, she was right there. And that's what we do, right? As long as our team is following right behind us, then we're good. We're not worried that they're probably, taking 3 steps, that they're running as fast as they can. And we also don't really understand what's happening internally. And finally, after so much pulling and tugging of me moving toward my destination and to my destination, my daughter stops me, 4 or 5 years old. And she says, "Daddy, you're walking too fast." Now, I'm going to be honest. This is bad dad time. I'm going to be very honest. I was like, well, walk faster. Guess what? I had already pulled her, not pushed her. I had already pulled her past her capacity. At this point, her feet were tripping. She was dragging. She was slowing down. And every time she slowed down, it wasn't her slowing down. I was dragging her. And I was saying, "Sydney, walk faster." Going back to what I mentioned earlier. I hope you're getting this. And that's what we do often, a lot of times in our leadership, is we really don't understand the capacity of those that we're leading and serving. And we're really dragging them along, and we're telling them to speed up. They're telling us to slow down. But guess what? Whenever that happens, my friend, Mr. Mrs. Leader, whoever you are, I want you to listen to me intently. When that happens, when you're saying speed up, they're saying, "Hey, listen, we're going as fast as we can. Can you slow down?" Ultimately, what's happening is you're slowing down anyway. 3 things I want to give you here, and we're out of here. What's going to happen? 3 things are going to happen when you're moving your team toward a stretch goal. 2 we don't want to happen. Number 1, your team is going to burn out. We don't want that to happen. In order to avoid this, once again, you need to know your team's capacity, and you want to reward them for when you push them past their limit. I'm talking about reward them well. And if they're being pushed past their limit, but they're not growing, you don't see growth, then ultimately something is breaking in them. So if you're pushing someone, again, in a weight room, if they're pushing me and the pain, it's, I'm doing arm curls and military press and all this stuff, lat pull downs. I'm doing all of these exercises. If my trainer notices, hey, it hurts, but yet I'm also developing, then my pain threshold is also increasing. So you want to be aware, what is your team's pain threshold? And as we're pursuing this goal, this stretch goal, this ambitious goal, this BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal, is their pain threshold increasing? And if they are not increasing, if your team's pain threshold is not going to the next level, what's ultimately happening is they are getting burned out, and ultimately they're going to leave out. The second thing that happens when a leader is leading his or her team toward a stretch goal is the team often feels left out. It's very likely that if things are slowing down in the organization, and if you're noticing people are kind of tuning out, they're not as encouraged, inspired, and motivated to work toward the stretch goal, often what happens is they simply feel left out. Now, why does that happen? What's behind that? In systems thinking, there is a phrase called success to the successful. And often leaders do it. We reward those who are strong, those who are vocal, those who speak out, the extroverts like I am. But those introverts, those that are contemplative people, workers, they think, they have to take time, and they don't just answer you in the meeting. They have to leave and think over it over a few hours or maybe a couple of days and then get back with you. Normal leaders like me who are extroverts, let's be honest, we don't like those types of people. We want an answer right now. I just had a meeting. I just told you, give me an answer now. And so we tend to not reward them. We tend to overlook them, and they become left out, or they feel left out. You want to make sure you're not doing that to your staff or to your team. And last but not least, here is what we want to happen as leaders when we're moving our team, leading our team toward a stretch goal. We want them to grow. As we said before, we want them to increase their pain threshold, to be able to take on a little more. We want them to become better. Listen, that is all we have for you on today. today's episode. On this episode of the Leadership Class Coaching Session, once again, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to feed you, teach you, coach you more on some leadership techniques that we're learning right in the field. This is not stuff that's just coming from the head. This is actually what we're teaching and coaching in the Leadership Class, which is our online leadership development platform. You can take it self-directed, or you can join one of our cohorts. Either way, we want to serve you. Once again, my friends, my name is Barry E. Knight. I am a servant, and I was created to serve you. Two figures.